Today we're going to honor our graduates. Graduates, you have been on a wonderful journey. We really appreciate all your passion, your creativity. We know how hard you have worked for your degrees and the mastery that you have achieved. If you are graduating today, we would like to honor you. Can you please stand? Our students come from all over the world. We're graduating close to 100 today. Some are on campus, some are online. We have them all over the world, and you're joining quite an illustrious alumni family. You come to study with the world-renowned faculty and the best that are here, and we want to recognize them and the staff that have supported you along your journey. So the faculty and staff, can you stand, please? Sorry, I'm going to make you stand. Stand. Bob, staff, and the staff. Right, and we recognize that you really don't do this in a vacuum. You have a support system, right, of your family and your friends, right? So family and friends, you got to stand, right? And now graduates, you got to give someone a hug. You got to thank them. Give them a hug, a hearty hug. Say thank you, because they helped you. All right, now that we have all the graduation ceremony aerobics done, I'd like to start the ceremony today by introducing one of our exceptional faculty and someone that has really helped us this semester as the acting director of the manufacturing program, Professor of Electrical and Computer Science, Professor Semyon Murkov, and he will give the faculty remarks.
Okay, well, thank you for the invitation and thank you for being here. First, I have to mention that one of my teachers gave me advice concerning public speaking. He said, first, stand so that they will see you. Second, speak loud, that they will hear you. And the third, be brief, so they will like you. So, I'll be brief. Congratulations, graduates. You work hard, I know. We make you work hard. It's good for you. You did. You accomplished. And I wish you success. And congratulations to parents. You also work hard to provide, to direct. And you also accomplished. Congratulations. And faculty and staff, of course. Congratulations too. So for graduation speech, I probably should give you advice. I have three. The first one, and I teach it in every class that I taught here in the University of Michigan for over 35 years, the most important thing I can teach students here is persistence is a foundation of success. If you select a goal which is good, reasonable, and achievable, don't let anything stop you. Working hard with wisdom, with determination, you will accomplish. Persistence is a foundation of success. The second, some of you have a job, some of you will be looking for a job or are looking for a job. Which one to take? Students often come to me and say, well, I have two offers at 3, and one gives this, this, and that, and that. Which one should I take? Well, I cannot tell which one will be the best. But I think I have a principle. And the principle is, especially for a recent graduate, is go for the money. No. You don't go for the money in your first job or the second. And you don't know for California. the best place, what you would like. What you go for? Learning. To start your career, you have to learn. The more you learn in the beginning of your career, the more successful you're going to be. And in the span of your career, you will have all the benefits that you can think of. So go after learning. And the third one is, what makes a good professional? Of course, you have to know technicalities, and that's what we teach you here. You have to know techniques, the most sophisticated, and so on. Does it make you a top-level professional? From my point of view, not yet. It is necessary, but not sufficient. So what else do you need to, in addition to technicalities, in order to be successful? A real high-level professional. What do you think? Anyone? A guess. A wild guess. What is it?
Passion.
Yeah, that's passion certainly you need, absolutely, absolutely. That's not what I had in mind, but this is absolutely, absolutely necessary. But this is a very, very good thing, because without passion, it will not move. It will be a chore rather than really intellectual endeavor. What else? Creativity. You have to be creative. Whatever job you do, it doesn't matter what it is. You can't be a highest professional or a custodian. If you do your work creatively, you will be appreciated and you will accomplish a lot. So, but we don't teach you creativity here, basically. We give you problems to solve, we give projects. Yeah, it's a little bit. So how can an engineer become creative in the highest sense of this word? My answer is engage in cultural pleasures of life. Read good books, not just watching TV. Go to a museum, not only to a big house. Go to Hill Auditorium, listen to beautiful music. And by the way, practically in every class in the fall semester, I start with a question to students. After a football weekend, I will ask them, who went to the football game? Practically everyone raises a hand. And after that, I ask, who did not go but watched it on TV? Now the whole class will have the hands up. Said, after that, asking, how many of you went to a Hill Auditorium concert? Practically nobody. In most cases, nobody at all. So I said, well, I rest my case. I showed you what you are. You willing to spend time and sit and watch this guy running on the football field, which is okay, but it does not add to your creativity. You just spending time, have fun, and it's okay as well. So, graduates, you have to become creative. This is something that you cannot do otherwise but reading a good poem or a good book, or go to a wonderful concert at Hill Auditorium elsewhere. That will make you a great professional. So to summarize what I said, these three things: persistence, learning, and creativity. That will make your life beautiful and also valuable for society, valuable for your family, and so on. But I would like to mention one more thing, and this is not this is not technical, not engineering. And this is the following. I have been in this country for over 40 years. So I have some kind of a perspective to look what's happening. And I see dramatic changes. Honor and honesty and truthfulness that I've perceived before, I don't see it so much anymore. Most of the news organs They tell you one thing, and then totally another one, and everyone says that they're correct. This is true. Cannot be like that. Honor and honesty seems to be diminishing. Advice to the graduates, ladies and gentlemen, stand on the principles and honor and honesty rather than otherwise. Now, I cannot guarantee that it will bring you success at every step of the way. Sometimes you may suffer, but in the long run, you will benefit. So that's what I would like to conclude. Wish you success, all the best, and let us stand, all of us, on a matter of principle. Thank you.
Thank you. So our students are amazing. And part of today, we get to honor the best of the best. So I'd like to start the award ceremony by inviting up Dr. Bob Wardley to induct this year's members into Sigma Theta Mu.
Welcome. Sigma Theta Mu is the honor society of the International Council of Systems Engineering. This society actually is rather unusual. It was founded in 1990 because there weren't enough experienced systems engineering professionals to do the work they needed. Because systems engineering has become so central at that time to work in the Defense Department, to work in aerospace, and in a growing number of industries. It's still a fairly young industry. In fact, Cy Ramo, who was the father of modern system engineering, actually what he was noted for, he was the father of the intercontinental ballistic missile system, a relatively recent kind of discovery. So it's a major and evolving discipline that we're very, very proud to be a part of. Another one of Cy Ramo's great contributions, he was a mentor of Don Winter. And Don Winter was Secretary of the Navy, and one of his greatest accomplishments, in my opinion, along with Panos Papalanios back there, was to actually help found the system engineering program. Our introductory course was started by Don Winter. So it's funny, it means that to a lot of extent, I and everyone here among you, we're sort of the children of system engineering, if Cy Ramo is the father. So it's an awesome honor, and being inducted into Sigma Theta Mu is a major, major honor society. We look for the best of the best. Sigma, Theta, Mu, the M. We all know what M stands for, right? Defining the problem, solving the problem, checking the solution, and implementing it. That's the systems M. Or at least those of you who have taken system engineering know that's what the M stands for. It stands for our approach to solving complex problems. And we had 3 people. We carefully surveyed. We have a lot of very, very brilliant students. It's amazing the kind of students that come from U of M. That's why it's such a privilege to teach here. So we looked for the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and we identified 3. One of them, Nate, is from Honeywell, and of course, has the best of the best. He's pulled away, doing great things at Honeywell. The other, Natalie, is from Ford, and likewise, she's busy at Dearborn right now. But we're very fortunate to have one of our own, Kunal, here in the room. Like me, I retired from General Motors. He's a car guy. But one of the neat things about him is he was actually on Car and Driver magazine. Can you imagine that? Car and Driver magazine, as well as working at GM and Ford as well. He was also actually part of the Engineering Leaders Experience Program at General Motors. And I think, and if you'll come up please, you'll see he's really very, very charismatic. You talk to him, he generates excitement, you love to be around him. He is, come on up and be honored, he is the kind of person who will make a difference in our society because he is a master of the M. It's been great to know you. And I would like to, next to Sigma Theta Mu, first let me put the words on here. I tend to have an awkward hand, so I'm not going to try pinning it on him. I will allow a more safe person to do that. Welcome. It's been a joy and an honor to know you. And also to be able to sit back 30 or 40 years from now when I'm old and useless and say, hey, I helped teach that guy. Thank you.
As you can see, we're kind of family around here. Right. One of our hallmark signatures of ISD is our Capstone, our practicum projects. I would like to invite Amy Hortop, our experiential learning coordinator, who will present this year's winner for the Outstanding ISD Capstone Award.
So this award is presented to the Capstone Design Project that demonstrated outstanding impact, excellent contributions to practice, exemplary deployment of classroom material in industrial application, excellent quality of project work, and great potential value-added benefits for the sponsor. So this year's winner of this was nominated by Art Hyde, and I'd like to read a little bit of his letter that he submitted. Keith Cardillo is the winner of this award. He has effectively used all of his manufacturing skills, his understanding of lean operations and simulation, as well as human factor engineering to develop this proposal. It's an outstanding example of application of the principles he has learned. In short, this project has a very tangible positive impact on the sponsor, General Motors. It will improve the sustainability and viability of the GM Lansing Grand River plant and its workforce for many years to come, as well as serve as a best practice for plant rebalance projects when product lines have been discontinued. So congratulations, Keith Cardillo. No, oh.
That's all right.
Great, thank you.
We're all learning our new roles here. Right. At ISD, we value diversity, equity, and inclusion, which actually you can see today is resulting in our family type of atmosphere. I'd like to now invite up Professor Chinedem Okradar, who will present the ISD Leadership Award for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Ms. Lauder, your name is Lauder.
It's my great pleasure to present the award for leadership in diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is an award that is recent here at ISD. It was established just about a year ago. And it's presented to a student or a group of students who embody the spirit of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that's an ISD student. And it could be based on work that they've done here on campus or even work that they've done outside. And what we look for is students who, through their activities, show that they appreciate the diversity that we've got here. And one thing I must mention here at ISD is that our diversity is not only in the variety of people coming from different parts of the world, but also in engineering. We are not one unit in engineering. We have people from various branches of engineering, even outside of engineering. And we also have students, some of them on campus, some of them out of campus, people who have worked extensively in industry and people who are just fresh into college. So there's a lot of diversity here. And I must note that there were a good number of applicants for this award. And as we review the awards, we are really impressed at what our students are doing in their various ways to show that they appreciate the diversity that is here at ISD and they want to keep cultivating it. Well, our winner for this year's award is nobody else but Mr. Matt Nelson, a design science PhD student here at ISD. Matt, please come. So Matt's contributions to diversity is well acknowledged here at ISD and really college-wide and in the university. Maybe most notable is that he was the president of the National Society of Black Engineers. This is a 10,000 member-strong organization, and he helped to increase even that number, not only numerically in terms of the number, but also financially was able to raise the profile of the organization. Here on campus, he's led different diversity efforts at the college and at the university, and still continues to lead. In fact, we just worked on one of such events together. So without further ado, I want to present Matt with his. Right.
Thank you. So each year, we invite one graduate to provide remarks as they embark on their new journey in their lives. This year, we've invited Arya Kalapi, who just successfully defended her doctoral degree in design science. And she was awarded our top award, the College of Engineering Towner Prize for Distinguished Achievement. So Arya, soon to be Dr. Arya.
Well, thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome. First, congratulations to all the graduates. In my 4 years here, I've seen many classes of graduates go off into the world and do what they do, but now it's our turn. It's really exciting. So I suspect many of you, have spent a lot of your time, a lot of my time, our time, here in ISD doing. So I want to take a minute to pause and reflect. So remember your classmates from your first semester here. Think about how much they've grown. Think about how much you've grown. Think about how much all of us have learned. What we do here in ISD is hard. We've learned to tackle some of the thorniest engineering and design problems today. These problems are multifaceted, and the solutions to them are about the people that design and build technologies, as well as the technologies themselves. Our interdisciplinary training lets us blend research methods, analysis methods, to ask the right questions, to understand the context of problems, to develop good solutions, and design meaningful and lasting contributions. At a personal level, I've been completely transformed by my time here. So I came here with 3 degrees in totally different disciplines, chemistry, aerospace engineering, operations research. But I leave here a designer, a design scientist, and a credible integrator of my prior and future experiences. When I arrived here, I had just the barest notion of what it meant to design. I thought it was mostly about products, much less a way of thinking, and even less still, I questioned my ability to actually do design. But what I know now is that design is a fundamental approach to living life, and it's a mindset and one that I use every single day. But in all that we've learned, class was just the tip of the iceberg. We all know that. The Michigan experience has been so much more. Michigan, and ISD in particular, is built on community. And thank you, all of you, for being such a welcoming and supportive community for me and for each other. Thank you to those I've been able to collaborate with and work with. You've helped me grow as a researcher, helped me find and develop my strengths. Term projects and dissertations are never easy, but we made it through, and we're stronger and more confident for it. I also want to thank those of you who have been my students. I'm grateful to have had the chance to have been a GSI and to have the opportunity to help you navigate the same uncertain waters that I traversed myself. And finally, thank you all for being you. The diversity of perspectives and interests and knowledge among our different programs are really our source of strength. And every one of you should be proud of your contribution to our whole. Now, I want you to look around and recognize the support system that's around you. Thank you to our faculty and our staff who make everything work behind the scenes and are always available and willing to help us succeed and in whatever way is needed. So we may just be finishing here, but our journey toward whatever comes next is just beginning. As you begin on that journey, I leave you with not advice, but a challenge. I challenge you to consciously design your future. Seeking new perspective and examining your approach to solving problems is a choice. Building and engaging with your community is a choice. And maintaining balance in your personal and professional life is a choice. I challenge you to keep learning in all that you do, keep building on the foundation you've built for yourself here, and design the world to be what you want it to be. So, thank you.
Thank you. So now, as you all embark on the next stage of your life, we thought it'd be good to have someone that's on the other side talk. So we've invited John Mursky, who's from our External Advisory Board. He's a retired executive from Robert Bosch, and he's the Energy and Environmental Commissioner for the City of Ann Arbor. And we've invited him to come give his wisdom.
Thank you. It's really a pleasure here to be with all of you and celebrating. Congratulations. You now have a great degree from a great department awarded by a great university, and that's certainly something to celebrate. You have demonstrated your ability to learn, to integrate across domains, to think of systems. You've become good collaborators with others of diverse backgrounds across multiple boundaries, human and disciplines. Together, these are probably the most important skills that you've learned in all of your schooling. And what I can say now is you are now among the leaders and the best. And that's really something fantastic. So congratulations. So as was said earlier, these graduation ceremonies are often accompanied by words of advice. And that's what I intend to do. So I'll be the bookend at the other end. As I have gray hair, I have some experiences and advice that I've gathered over the years, and I'll share that with you. So one adage that I've tried to live by through my life is to maximize the return on your time invested. And to do that in really all endeavors, in terms of obviously your academics, but also your professional life and your personal life. And it's important to realize that the return on your time can really take many forms. In any case, you really want to make sure that as you look back and think about an activity, you want to think in retrospect, this was really worthwhile because it served society, because it was intellectually stimulating, because it was relaxing or financially rewarding, or whatever is important to you. And I think it's also important that you want to look back at things and say, that was fun. There are too many good options to spend your time, and you really don't want to waste it. So to maximize the return on your time invested, I'd like to leave you with a couple of concepts. And I'm going to start first with something that I learned that applies to the adage that I was taught when I was a senior at Michigan. A speaker at an event impressed upon us students at the time the importance of aligning one's efforts with the expectations of others, in particular people that are in positions of authority. For example, a teacher, a boss, a customer, or other persons in your life, even, for example, let's say a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend. He used at that time a simple graphical illustration to bring the point across. And what he did is he went to a board and he drew 2 dots. One dot, he used the example of a manager and a subordinate, and one dot was the manager and the other dot was the subordinate. And then what he did is he drew a radius for both of those out, let's say 10 hours a day, that's sort of an average of how much you might work, and drew a circle around both of those dots. And what was clear is that in that case, there was really a limited amount of overlap. And his point was that you really want to try in those kinds of, really in every kind of relationship, to align your expectations and to align what was expected of you and what you're delivering. In the case of the manager, obviously, that was the manager's expectations. In the case of the subordinate, that was the work that the subordinate was doing. And obviously, in that case, both of them were not happy. The subordinate sensed it. The boss obviously saw this person working very hard, but wasn't actually getting done what he was expected to do. So there's really 2 simple approaches to bringing those 2 positions together. One is simply expanding the radius and working much, much harder, and you now have overlap. But that's obviously not efficient or effective. And the other simple way is to simply merge the 2 centers, to make sure that expectations of you and what you're doing are aligned, or at least, at the very least, that you understand each other. So the essence of that is really sort of, you might think, overly simplistic, but indeed, if you think about lessons in life, a lot of them really are super simple. And unfortunately, a lot of times we really don't take them to heart and we don't practice them. So to maximize the return on your time investment, it's really important to take a proactive and iterative approach to aligning your understanding of deliverables with others' expectations. And this has stuck with me for 40 years. I still remember this lecture. And you know, there's situations where you have rebelled maybe against a micromanaging manager or a nagging spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend. And you've also had probably totally hands-off kinds of relationships. And those are sort of 2 negative extremes. And what you really want to do is have substantive, regular discussions with your key partners, your superiors, your customers. You should treat them as sparring partners. People where you try to reach an agreement with your deliverables, as well as on approaches with whom to collaborate, how to review your work from different perspectives. And as I learned later in my life, you can even learn a lot from people that you don't respect or that you don't like. They come from a different viewpoint, and it's important to look at yourself and look at what you're doing from their viewpoint. At the least, understand where they are centered. Doing this will help you maximize the value of your time from others and your own perspectives. There's another way that I want to propose to do the same thing, to maximize the return on your time. And that is to evaluate it consciously by looking at your endeavors and deciding what is important to do. And the best way to do that, in my view, is to write down your own personal values, mission, and vision, and to craft them as guidelines for your own actions. Yes, crafting values, mission, and vision are not just exercises for entities, and in fact, we met yesterday, the External Advisory Board, with faculty and staff and students from ISD to do that very thing for ISD. But what I want to tell you is that's something also you should be doing for yourself. Take the time to do that. And again, as the other advice, in terms of aligning your work or the things that you do with others' expectations, it sounds ridiculously simple, but few people do it consciously and consistently. So what are statements of value, mission, and vision? Your values define your character, your core, what you really want in terms of centering yourself as a person. There are things like honesty and integrity, service to others, wealth, be it monetary or human relations. Your mission is an articulation of your purpose, what you want to accomplish or achieve with your time in your life. Finally, your mission is a positive picture of where you want to see yourself out in the future. It should be clear and compelling. It should be vivid. It should translate your view of your future into words. And the important thing, it should serve as your goal on the horizon in the context of your values and your mission. As I said, it's really important that once you've defined and written down these statements, that you regularly pause and evaluate where you are and how you are centered relative to those statements, just like it's important to evaluate whether or not you're centered with other people's expectations of you. You should be doing the same thing of yourself. Ask yourself, are you really maximizing the return on your time invested? Are you spending your time in a manner that is consistent with your values, in service of your mission, and leading to your vision? And I propose that you do this again, both professionally as well as personally. In the case of the former, ask if your boss's and your employer's values and their mission and their vision overlap with your own. If not, certainly there's no overlap. You really should be thinking, why am I working for this person? Why am I working for this company? You really should stop and take a second look and potentially leave and go on and do something else. But I think just importantly, you have to also look at your own vision and your own values and your mission and your vision, and compare and contrast that with what you're doing in your own life. And if not, recenter yourself and your behaviors. I mean, this is something that is entirely within your own control. It doesn't depend on anybody else. So before ending my talk, I want to pass on that one writer, Stephen Covey, and one particular book he wrote, I have it here with me, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. They have influenced my thinking and my behaviors in general and my talk today. I highly recommend, by the way, I don't get any commission or anything from this, but I highly recommend that you buy it, that you read it, and that you put it into practice. It's something that I've read cover to cover 3 times. I've done exactly what I'm recommending that you do, and I constantly step back and I look at my values and my mission and my vision, and I reevaluate myself in that context. In fact, they're also here with me today. So I was lucky to have learned and lived by these lessons. I worked 37 years for a great company. I worked for Bosch. It's a German company. And it shared my values, and it shared my mission, and it also enabled me to pursue my vision. And I'm lucky in retirement to be able to do the same thing, pursuing my passion for public service and the environment. As was mentioned, I'm involved in civic activities for the city of Ann Arbor. I also work with several U of M groups, including students that are focused on getting the university to become carbon neutral. I also serve as a Big Brother in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. And finally, it's an honor to serve Diane and all of you and the faculty and staff as a member of the External Advisory Board. My careers have enabled me to apply my education at Michigan and at Stanford, where I first met Panos. We were both graduate students there together. And also in that education, I have to say both institutions really served, I think, all of us really well in terms of looking at things in a multidisciplinary way, to look at systems and trying to integrate them, and also over time allowed us to develop into T-shaped individuals. And in the roles that I've had, both professionally and in retirement, I felt that I've done my best to maximize my return on my time investment. and it continues because of that to be tremendously rewarding and fun. So in closing, write down your values, your mission, and your vision. Within that framework, maximize the return on your time invested. Do what's meaningful and rewarding. Do what you love what you do, have fun in the process, and finally, consistently reassess your situation and make necessary changes. Congratulations on your degrees. You have bright futures. Make them successful and happy ones. Be proud, and make ISD proud of you as well. Thanks very much.
Right, we're almost done. But we have a special award that we give out every year, and it's to the ISD Faculty Award. This is to a faculty member that has made a big contribution to ISD over the course of the year. This was unanimous, and it wasn't due to what they've done over the past year, but over the entire time. This goes to Panos Papalambris, Professor Panos Papalambris. Come on. Now, I know Panos, that if I say too much, he won't like it. Here you will go. But for those that aren't familiar with him, he founded and was the founder members of Integrated Systems and Design. More importantly, he's one of the people that have the soul and the heart of the place, that really gets it and has inspired all of us to not only do what we're doing now, but to continue the legacy for all of you. I won't say any more, but we can't tell you thank you enough.
Stand up. The reason I have my tie is because I had the privilege of having 3 design science PhD students graduate this year, and this morning we had the ceremony at Rackham. Arya Kolopi, Melissa Green, and Yansin Pan. They're all now graduates, and I'm thankful to them as an example of all the people that I'm thankful for being here today, and thank you to
All right, we're nearing the end of our ceremony. I want to say a few more words. To our graduates, you are now graduating from University of Michigan. You are the leaders and the best. It's an honor to be the best, but it's also an important responsibility to be a leader. As you are working for the top companies, the organizations, wherever you are going across the world, demonstrate the talents that you've honed in at ISD. Tackle the hardest and most meaningful societal problems and make an impact on the world. Make the difference. Be bold, be daring, go blue.